Things are not looking good for the Formula One driver from Finland, Valtteri Bottas. Finnish media and F1 pundits are starting to wonder if Bottas is losing his touch or worse, if his days in the sport are numbered. But let's not jump to any conclusions just yet. In this video, we're going to dig deep into this situation and explore what's really going on with Bottas and Alfa Romeo. Back in 2022, Valtteri Bottas was ready for a fresh start. The Finnish driver had spent 5 seasons with Mercedes, playing number 2 to the mighty Lewis Hamilton. But the time had come for Bottas to spread his wings and take on a new challenge. So he packed his bags and headed to Alfa Romeo, with high hopes and great expectations. He was joined by the Chinese rookie Zhou Guanyu, and together they were ready to take on the world. The promise of a successful season was in the air, and everyone was optimistic about the new C43 car. Bottas had everything he needed to succeed: a new beginning, a new team, and a new car. The Bahrain Grand Prix. But before things went south in 2022, Bottas managed to beat Hamilton in qualifying before securing a 6th-place finish. We all know how fast Hamilton is, so this was a major achievement for the Flying Finn. The fans were ecstatic, and Bottas himself must have been feeling over the moon. This year, at the Bahrain Grand Prix, he started off strong by claiming a solid 8th-place finish. He probably expected to do better, but little did he know that this would be his best result in the opening 3 Grands Prix of the season. Though he was decent at the beginning, he was in for a rude awakening in the coming races. The Jeddah Grand Prix. Because after Bahrain was the Jeddah Grand Prix. Now this was a race that Bottas probably wants to forget. He finished in 18th place, which is 2 spots of the last placement on the grid. He was the last of the running drivers. He struggled with the handling and navigation of the car. But to be fair, it wasn't just Bottas struggling. The track conditions were treacherous, with more twists and turns than a teenage romance novel. There were multiple crashes, and it felt like every other lap someone was sliding off into the wall. It was like trying to drive on ice, except with the added bonus of not knowing which way is up. Overall, it was a difficult one for Bottas and Alfa Romeo. And hey, at least they didn't crash like some other drivers. We won't mention any names, but let's just say some of them were most likely hoping for a do-over on that one. The Australian Grand Prix. Now, things kept on getting worse and worse for the Flying Finn. After the rough start at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, Bottas finished in 11th place at the Australian Grand Prix, which was a huge disappointment for him and the team. He was one of the only 2 drivers to not score points. Bottas was not happy with the car's performance, and neither were the Finnish pundits who shared his concerns. Though pundits like Oikarinen think that the blame should be on the driver, for obvious reasons, Bottas thinks otherwise. But there was some good news for the team, as Zhou Guanyu managed to secure a point-worthy finish. Now, this didn't exactly take the heat off of Bottas' back, as people are questioning whether it's an issue with his car, or has he just simply lost the plot? Now, Bottas, as an experienced driver, knows that the car's lack of pace is a significant obstacle to overcome. The C43 is not the same as its predecessor, which had some serious speed. Alfa Romeo struggles. Now, it's not just the C43 car that's been underwhelming. Bottas, on the other hand, he only had a few good performances, but he hasn't been able to consistently finish in the points. According to the experts, there were many opportunities to secure points at Melbourne. Valtteri is also aware of this and believes there is a fundamental error somewhere lying underneath. Meanwhile, Zhou Guanyu has been a bit of a bright spot for the team with his point-worthy finish in Australia, but it came with a caveat that many drivers ahead were forced to retire early. The team's staggering performances have also been noted by Finnish pundits, saying that either it's time for Bottas to step up or just simply step aside. It's tough to say what the root of the issue is, but one thing's for sure: Alfa Romeo needs to pick up the pace if they want to make a dent in the midfield battle. Despite their current problems, the team is still hoping to end their sponsorship with Alfa on a high note. They've got a talented driver lineup and a dedicated team behind them, so there's no reason why they can't turn things around. It's going to be an uphill battle, but they're not backing down. Bottas' hope for improvement. But after having lackluster displays in the early races of this season, it's no surprise that Bottas is looking to press the reset button and come up with a new plan of action. The Finnish racer has been pretty vocal about the team's troubles, and it seems like he's fed up with the lack of pace in the C43. But hey, don't forget that Bottas is a driver with plenty of experience under his belt. If anyone can help turn things around, it's him. So what's the game plan? Well, Bottas is hoping that the team will use the break between races to identify and fix their problems. And let's be real, they have a lot of issues to fix. But with Bottas leading the charge, we're sure they'll be able to make some serious improvements. It's not going to be easy though. Bottas and the Alfa Romeo team have some tough competition ahead, and they'll need to work hard if they want to climb up the standings. But hey, that's what makes F1 so exciting, right? The real reason behind this. We all know that Bottas recently left Mercedes to join Alfa Romeo for the 2022 season. But rumors are swirling that the psychological effects of leaving a successful team may be taking a toll on him. Leaving a team as good as Mercedes and joining a team like Alfa Romeo does require a learning curve. He had to adapt to their training methods and figure out how to work together effectively. That kind of transition is no walk in the park, especially when you're under the microscope of the entire F1 community. On top of that, Bottas is now the lead man in a team that's underperforming. That's a lot of added pressure to perform, and it's starting to show. His disappointing finishes in Jeddah and Australia have left us scratching our heads, wondering what's going on. Could it be that the C43 car is really that bad? Or is there more to the story? Some insiders are speculating that Bottas' struggles may have more to do with his mental state than his physical performance. And now, with rumors swirling about Bottas' future in F1, we're left to wonder whether he'll even continue racing beyond 2023. It's a tough call, but one thing is for sure. Bottas needs to figure out how to get his mojo back. And as for Alfa Romeo, now they're trailing only Williams and AlphaTauri with just 6 points. That's not exactly a position they want to be in. So, where does this leave us? It's hard to say. But if we know anything, it's that the 2023 season is shaping up to be one of the most unpredictable ones yet. Stay tuned, because there are sure to be more twists and turns on the road ahead. We're getting closer and closer to the next race in Baku, and the pressure is on for Valtteri Bottas and the Alfa Romeo team to show up with eye-catching performances. So what do you think? Can Bottas and Alfa Romeo turn things around in Baku? Will they be able to step up during the breaks? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on the latest trends in the world of Formula One.